All right, you guys, y'all give me a minute and we are going to get started. I'm just sending out the stream to people just in case they want to join. If you want to join the podcast, it's available right now. Okay, let me post it on Facebook. Okay, let me see if I can post it. No, that's not the way. So I need to post it the other way. Okay, I gotta post it the other way. Y'all give me a minute. Okay. All right. I think I have posted it. Okay, let me see here. Okay, did I get it to him? I am live on YouTube and you're welcome to come. I'm talking about proper representation. Okay, now I've gotten all that out the way. Let's go ahead and get it started. Okay, now I've sent it out to everybody who I need to get it out to, and they are more than welcome to come to my live. All right. I think that's everybody that needs to get out to. Today, we're going to be talking about proper representation. I know. Let me say that again. Proper representation. Now, I'm going to send it out to one more person. Hold on, you guys. One more person. You are welcome to come to my live. I am speaking on proper representation. Okay, now that I've gotten that out the way, I keep saying that. Good evening. How you doing? All right, now let's go ahead and get started because I know I've been sending it out to people who I said I'm going to send it out to. When I had one guy who claimed he's going to come, so we'll see how that goes. Today, proper representation in the public defender. Now, there's something that needs to be talked about that has never really been discussed. Here's the question: let's say you got a friend that gets arrested for, let's say, stealing out the store, right? Stealing out the store, and he gets arrested, and he doesn't have a good representation. He's gonna get a thing called a public defender. Now we all know, everybody knows, public defenders do not really represent you in the way a paid lawyer would represent you. And you know why is that? I want y'all to put in the chat, why do you think a public defender can't help you like a paid lawyer could help you? Think about that for a minute. Why can't a public defender help you just as a paid lawyer would help you? Well, because a public defender has only so many people that he's representing, to the point to where he can't represent you because he don't have enough money. So I think this should be taken to Washington, D.C. And I'm gonna write up something. Because it's just fair. If we're gonna have the district attorney have unlimited resources to convict you, then why the public defender can't have the same thing? Balance. We're talking about balance. Now, it's only fair for a public defender to have the same amount that the district attorney has. Because we all know the district attorney have unlimited resources to go do everything they need to do. And all they really care about is a win. They don't really care about who's right and who's wrong. They only care about them getting a W, them getting a win, so to speak. So all I'm saying is, if the public defender's office had the same amount of money as the district attorney's office, think about it. It would be a lot more less trials in America. Do y'all realize how much money is spent on the district attorneys? How much money they spend on a daily basis? There's $1.4 million that's spent every day from the district attorney's office. They spend $1.4 million all across the world every day for some cases that they know that they're not going to win. But you know why they're going to win? Because they have unlimited resource. So when you hire a paid lawyer, you know what excuse me. You know what a paid lawyer is going to do? A paid lawyer is going to go do his job. A paid lawyer is going to go do out everything that you asked him to do and then some. Sorry about that, you guys. Hold on. The weather's changing and I'm not even going out. But nonetheless, all I am saying, it is time. Y'all give me 1 second. Y'all give me 1 second. Okay. Now, I'm sorry about that. My allergies are acting up. Okay. Okay. Back to what I was saying. A paid lawyer will represent you in the way he should. You know, we just got to sit here and think about something realistically. Every time a public defender defends you, 90% of the time, he wants you to take a plea deal because it saves him the money. He wants you to take a plea deal rather than represent you and do his job, what he said he was going to do as a lawyer. Two things we know about lawyers: they go all them years to law school. Nobody wants to be a lawyer and lose. Who wants to be a lawyer and lose? I don't care if you are a public defender. Ain't no way in hell you should be a public defender, went to law school to study law, and now you got the law degree, and then you're going to go represent somebody that's locked up and don't even give them proper representation. You know how many people don't even like public defenders because of the rep that they have? Now, if I have to be fair, there are some, and you probably can limit it to one state, every state, that there's a public defender that will do his job, that don't agree with the state, that doesn't agree with anything what the state has. They gonna represent you. Now, the point I'm making is, it's very sad that public defenders don't do their job. You're welcome to come join. Now, what I know and what you know, what kind of lawyer do you want when you in a situation? If your family needs a lawyer, what kind of lawyer do you want? You don't want a public defender, that's for sure. So all I'm simply saying is it needs to be regulated. What's good for the state should be also good for a public defender to have the proper amount of money to represent you. Now, we all know it's unfair. The scale is not balanced. The justice system has not been balanced. So I think it needs to be a bill that needs to be passed. Public defenders have the same amount of money as a district attorney. It's only fair. Because if you ain't got the money, 9 times out of 10, your son, your daughter, your grandmother, your aunt, somebody of your importance in your family is going to take a plea deal, not because they wanted to, not because they wanted to. A public defender is going to get you a plea deal. 90% of the time, a public defender wants you to settle with a plea deal. I'm just saying. Don't get mad at the messenger. I'm just saying. Dana J. You know, it's just really sad that we as American people have not changed this. We're going into 2026, and you would think by now the public defender's office would complain about not having the proper amount of money. They make no more than $500 a case, depending on how many cases they have on their caseload. That's why you don't have proper representation, because that public defender don't have enough money to defend you. That public defender doesn't have a set amount of money that he can go and say, you know what, let me go get you a private investigator. Let me go investigate this for you. It's not proper. It's not fair. It's just not fair at the end of the day. And I'm not gonna make this a race thing. I'm gonna say all races need A lawyer. 90% of people need a lawyer. You need a lawyer. And when you get in trouble, you get a public defender. And we all don't want a public defender. You know why we don't want a public defender? Because a public defender is all it is he's a puppet. He is a puppet for the district attorney. And I guarantee, let me say this where y'all can hear me good. If the district attorney have unlimited resources of money to prosecute you, then why is it not fair for the other side for the public defender to have the same amount of resource money that the public defender should have? Let that sink. Let that sink. So my question remains, we in 2025 going to 2026, why is it that the public defender don't have unlimited resources like the district attorney do? Somebody needs to explain this to me. I need this explained. Ain't no way we should live in a day and time right now where you can't get proper representation. Just saying, man. It ain't fair. It ain't fair. People are laughing. You know why people are laughing? Because the public defenders are a joke. The public defender's office is a joke. How many family members? How many family members do we personally know locked up right now? If they had proper representation, they would not be there. If the public defender's office had unlimited resources like the district attorney's office do. I don't know what you're going to say. Don't do the crime if you can't pay the time. Well, guess what? You're right. You're right, but that doesn't mean you should not have proper representation. I'm just saying the truth. We all have somebody that's locked up right now that did not have proper representation and had no other alternative but to take a plea deal. Because that's the best that the public defender can do. And we know that's not the best he really can do. That's not true at all. That's the best deal I can get him. Why do you think a paid attorney do more than a public defender do? Why do you think a public defender can't do half of what a paid attorney could do? You know why a paid attorney? Keyword. Paid free world attorney. Now let's just put that in perspective. If your public defender's office had unlimited resources amount of money, a budget, I'm gonna say a budget to say, hey, this is how many cases I have. This is how much money I need to represent them. So why can't the public defender office have the same amount of money as the state do? The state that's your money. That's your tax money that you're spending. So why can't your tax money go to the public defender's office to proper represent a man, woman, or whoever it may be? Why they don't get the same treatment? You know why they don't get the same treatment? Because that public defender's office is only limited, maybe $500-$600 in your case. That's the reason that public defender cannot even help you, because he or she has so many cases on their caseload is why they can't help you. But I guarantee if that public defender office had unlimited resources just like the state do, the state wouldn't pull some of that crap that they do. The state only does that because they have unfair advantage. Tell me when I'm wrong. Tell me when I am wrong. That's why the public defender wins cases. I'm gonna say at least 80% of the time the state is gonna win because the state has unlimited resources. Now, why is that not given to the public defender? That's my question. Why is not being given to the public defender's office as well? If it's given to the state and the state is representing whoever it may be, but the public defender is representing you. We all can't afford $10,000, $20,000 to go find a lawyer. We all know that. Most of us living paycheck to paycheck, check to check. And if you got kids, God forbid, we know you squeezing pennies and robbing Peter to pay Paul. So all I'm saying, why isn't there a bill passed by a legislator to say, hey, the state has to share that money? Because I guarantee if the state had to share the money that they had to give to the public defender's office, things would be a lot different. All across the world, in the courthouses, things would be different. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go down to a courthouse and I'm going to ask the question, how come the state has so unlimited money and why the public defender don't have the same amount of representation? I guarantee the district attorney is probably not going to want to talk to me about that question because it's swept under the rug. You telling me you got a public defender's office that's not going to be fair? You mean to tell me that, let's say somebody steals from a store, but they don't have it on camera. They don't even have an eyewitness to say they saw that you steal. All you got is a person claiming that you stole. No eyewitness, no camera, none of that. And they go, and the public defender's gonna come with you with a deal. Well, they're offering you 10 years deferred. Is that fair? 10 years deferred, knowing full well it's not a chance that somebody's gonna complete 10 years of deferred adjudication. That's what the state gonna offer you. Is deferred adjudication probation, knowing 10 years is a lot. Now 3 years, 2 years, yeah, they know you can complete that. They know full well you can complete 2 or 3 years of adjudication. But if they give you 5, they give you 6, they give you 7, they know you want to go home. They know you want to go home. They gonna put all them surcharges, all them state fees, all the court costs. You gotta pay all of that. You know where that money's going? Right back into their office. It doesn't go to the public defender's office. Hell, it don't even go to the judge. Will I say some of these judges are biased? Very much so. Do they let their feelings get involved in some cases? I'm sure they do. I'm quite sure because they're human. Ain't no way in hell you can sit there on the bench and not have some feelings to some of these cases. Ain't no way you can sit on the bench and say you don't have a feeling towards a defendant. And that's why you gave him what you gave him. You wasn't being fair. Cause let's call a spade a spade. We're not even the judge, and we can just feel some of these cases. You can just feel some of these cases. It's just time to be fair. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of people still gonna say, don't do the crime if you can't pay the time. And I'm not fighting you for that. No. Nope, nope, nope. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's time to be fair across the board. Make it even. Watch this. I'm gonna show y'all something. Justice Center. Justice of the Peace logo. Y'all see it? I'm gonna show it to you. You see that? It's not even balanced. It's not even balanced. And you know why it's not balanced? You see that? Hold on. You see one side is bigger than the other side? Y'all see that? One side is bigger than the other side. Why is that? Because justice is not equal. It's unbalanced and it's gone unchecked for so many years, so many centuries. It's gone unchecked. Y'all may ask me the question, what made me come on and think about this and talk about this? Well, because it needs to be talked about. How many of our relatives are locked up right now because they didn't have good representation? Or they didn't really have any representation? That's why most people try to defend themselves. So all I'm saying to everybody across the world, I can hear my voice. I know for a fact the public defender's office only doing what they can afford to do. And that's more likely why you have to take a plea deal or so long on probation because you didn't get proper representation. That's why some of these police officers can do what they can do to you because they know you can't afford no lawyer. They know full well you can't afford no lawyer. Now I will give some of these. Now I will say that now it starts from a detective doing detective work. Some of these detectives really do their job, and they are looking for justice. And some of these detectives are there for a paycheck. And let's be real. I'll a district attorney. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Let me get my thought together. A detective is not even being paid as much as y'all think they being paid. So it becomes personal. It becomes personal. Some of these some of these people who do their job, it becomes personal. And it's never supposed to be personal. It's supposed to be let me find the if, where, how, when, all of that. They supposed to get down to the who, what, and the where, and how. That's their job. To find the who, the what, the where, the when, how did it start, and how did it end, who did what, who said what. So all I am saying is when a detective turn in his findings to the public, turning his findings to the district attorney's office, they could do one or two things: no bill it, or they have no case. 9% of the time, they want a case that they can take to trial or take to court. You know how easy it is to get an indictment. Y'all heard a lot of people say it's so easy. You can indict a ham sandwich. That's how easy it is to get indicted. An indictment only means that that's what they're charging you with. That's what you've been charged for. But let's go back and look at that. Guess what? You know how you get an indictment? They have to go and talk to the jury. What you don't even get to talk to them. You don't even get to talk to them before a case is even being going to court, before a judge, before it gets to a judge, before it gets to anybody. You know where that case goes to get indicted? You have to get indicted before you can be charged. Guess where that goes? That goes into a jury. You know who talks to the jury? That's right. The prosecutors. They put up a case against you and tell all these bad things about you, allegedly. And somebody in the, oh my God, we have to indict him. We have to indict her because they have made you look how they wanted to make it look. Because some of us don't have brains that sit there, well, wait a minute, that don't add up. Now, no, I'm not gonna prosecute that. Mm-mm. Why you think they don't want felons to be on the jury? Why you think they don't want felons to get indictments? Because they know, I'm gonna say at least 85% of America has been in trouble with the law. Why you think they don't want felons to serve on the jury? Why you think they don't want felons to indict people? Because they know that they're not gonna do that. Because they're gonna look at the facts. They're gonna look at everything in totality of a situation. So it comes back around to two things: equality, equality, equality. A public defender should have enough money to defend you. If the state got unlimited resources, goddamn me, guess what? The public defender's office should have the same amount of money. Because I guarantee if that public defender's office had the same amount of money as the state do, then some of these state charges and felony charges, it would not be the case. Guess what they would have to do? They would really have to go to work. They would really have to sit down and go to work on your case. The district attorney would really have to sit down and really wonder, is this case worth it? Is this case worth? Is that case worth it? They wouldn't. I'm gonna say it like this: it's backlogged. They got so many cases right now. It's backlogged in a lot of states. The state attorney's office are backlogged. But boy, they can't wait to see you when you do come to court. We got one. We got one. We got one. Every time somebody got a state attorney, they got one. Call it what you will. Call it what you will. I have yet to meet a state attorney, a state official that will represent you fairly and equally. Equality, equality, equality. I really feel like if the state got unlimited money, then goddamn me, I'm gonna say it again. The public defender's office should have the same amount of money. Thank you for saying that, because that's the truth at the end of the day. That's real. How many relatives that you know are locked up because they didn't have $10,000, $20,000 for a lawyer? Most lawyers want at least $10,000, $20,000 just to get on your case. And that's not all the money. That's not all the money. Most lawyers want anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000. No matter what kind of case you got, they want that bread before they even touch your case. You know, I'm gonna tell you what a lawyer told me years ago. You can have a fool for a state representation, or you can have a court-appointed lawyer for a fool. But we all know state official attorneys don't represent you. They either get you a plea deal or a 10-year probation deal. And we all know, black, white, I don't care what color you is. You is not finna finish no 10 years justification. They know that. The state know you can't do no 10 years on probation. They know that. That's why they offer it to you. Because they know you want to go home. They know you don't want to stay locked up. So what they gonna do? Man, let's go ahead and offer him 8 or 7 years justification. He ain't gonna finish it. They know that, and you know that. So that's why I said, if the public defender had unlimited resource amounts of money that the state got, we both know it would not go that way, because you would have proper representation, equality. Equality. So why is this not being talked about? You know why it's not being talked about? Why there's a bill not passed in the White House or Washington, a bill to be passed? Because it's fair. Again, I'm gonna go back to the picture I showed you earlier. The justice symbol is unbalanced. Look at it. I'm not lying. I'm not making this up. Look at it. It's unbalanced. It's been that way for decades. It's been that way for decades. The scale of justice is never been balanced. It's supposed to be equal. You know why it's not equal? Because you don't have the money, baby. If you ain't got the money, honey, you're going to prison. You're going. If you don't got proper representation. I'm gonna bring something up that we all can agree with. Let's take P. Diddy's situation. Let's take Diddy's situation. Diddy had enough money to do what? Proper representation. Proper representation will get you what you're looking for. If you got the money, honey, you gonna walk your behind up out of there with little or nothing. And the state don't like it when you have a paid lawyer, because that means they got to spend money. That means the state got to go spend some money. And you think the state want to spend any more money on you than what they really want to? No. I'll wait. I'll wait. Do you think the state want to spend any more money on you than they have to when you have proper representation? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't care if you got a speeding ticket. I don't care. I don't care what it is. I don't care what you did. You should have proper representation when you go to court.
Power off.
I'm just simply saying, if you're not gonna get proper representation, don't go. No, don't. They always tell you don't go to trial because you are forced. You're almost forced to take a plea deal because the state only get $500 per case. Look it up. This is Googleable information. The state only get $500 a case. So what you think that the public defender gonna do for you? He's not gonna represent you. Matter of fact, he or she are friends with the state. The state and the public defender's office, they cool with each other. They come to that courtroom each and every day with each other. Hey, look, I tell you what. If you let this person go, I promise to get you two more plea deals. I'll get you two more plea deals. Let him walk. Come on, as a favor to me. They swap you out for a favor. Some of the public defenders will swap you out for a favor. Some of them public defenders don't give a damn about you. They look at you, hey man, look, this the best deal I can get you. When they know that is not the best deal they could really get you. That's another thing. Why go to law school for all them years just to kiss somebody else behind? You go all them years to law school just for the district attorney to tell you what to do. Make that make sense. You go to law school all these years to get what? You go to law school for what? So the district attorney office can tell you what to do? No. They better be lucky I'm not a lawyer, because baby, I would take on certain amount of cases a month for free. For free. Certain amount of cases I would take on for free as a lawyer. Because as a lawyer, I'm paid anyway. Again, you get most of these lawyers not taking no more than about $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 a case. So I know as a lawyer, I'm good. I'm good. I can take on a couple of free cases. I feel like every paid lawyer, you better take on the free cases for free. For free. If they call that giving back to their community, do that. Do that. But I'm just simply saying what other people are afraid to say. Ain't nowhere in hell the state should have unlimited resources of your tax-paying money. Your tax-paying money is paying for that bullshit. Your tax-paying money is paying for the state to go do what the state do. Your money paying for that. Even if it's a parking ticket, guess who paying for that? You are. So again, and I'm gonna keep saying it to the top of the mountain. A public defender should have the same amount of money or the same amount of budget as a prosecutor do, because then the scales of justice is equal. Equal equality. That's the key word. Equality of justice. Look at that. Making my skin crawl. Just thinking about how these district attorneys do people. I hate it. I don't hate district attorneys, so let's not misunderstand that. I don't hate district attorneys. I hate what they represent with your money, our money. They sitting there all day, every day. They know how many cases they finna win. They know exactly how many cases they're going to win. That's why they offer you a plea deal. They know that. They know everything. They know the law. They know the law backwards and forward. They know you're gonna take the less charge than the big charge. They'll get rid of the big charge and give you the small charge, because they can convict you on that. Because a lot of us too scared. A lot of us are too scared to 9 times out of 10 call them out on their BS. Because at least if you're gonna do the crime, you should at least know the law of that crime. I'm just saying, if you're gonna do the crime, you should know the law of that crime. I'm simply saying. Let's look at when you get divorced. Guess what you got to do? You got to get a lawyer. But you'll go get a lawyer if you get divorced. If you get a divorce, man or woman, you'll come up with that divorce money to go get you a lawyer. Oh, you'll find a way to come up with that money. But you mean to tell me your ass get in trouble, your son, daughter, niece, nephew, somebody get in trouble, and you won't even lift a dime to go help them? If you can come up with weed money and cigarette money, your ass can go get you a lawyer. If you can go down to them casinos and get them casinos all your money, you can get a paid attorney. If you spend your money on bullshit, you can afford a lawyer. You shouldn't complain about no public defender lawyer if you're spending your money on BS. And people know what I mean when I say BS. Just saying. If we gonna play the game, let's play the game on an even playing scale. The justice of the peace has never been fair. It's never been fair. You know that. I know that. Why you think these police pull you over? They know you ain't got the money to go to court. You were speeding. It's 35 and a 40. So you mean to tell me you're gonna clock me for going over 5 miles over the speed limit just because you can? You don't have to. They don't have to. They have what they call discretion. Every police officer has what they call discretion. If they so choose to use it, they have this thing called discretion. Same thing as a public state attorney, discretion. Discretion, discretion, discretion. Equality, equality, equality. Please understand. There should be a bill passed. And I'm going to find out, I'm going to truly look into why the state and the public defender don't have the same budget. Why is it in the budget for the state to spend unlimited of your money, but the public defender's office don't get to say it's public? They're defending you. The state is represented by the people, for the people. Public defender, for the people, by the people. So why is it they don't have the same money that they do? Where is the budget? Because I guarantee if the state and the public defenders have to share that money, you mean to tell me a lot of these cases would not even get tried, would not even go to trial? A lot of these cases get thrown out because they had to share that money. They know that. They know that. So again, I'm gonna end this video by simply saying this, and I want y'all to go Google this, or go ask a lawyer. If you got a family member that's a lawyer, go ask them. Ask your state attorney. I dare one of y'all to go to your state official's office and ask them, how come the public defender don't have the same amount of budget that you got? They're not going to answer that question. They're not. If they do, they're going to give you some around the way answer, and you're going to know they're going to give you a around the way answer. You know that as well too. Child custody cases, same thing. You got to go get a lawyer, because if you give the public defender child support lawyer, you're not going to win. You know you're not going to win. So, you guys, I just wanted to share that. It's called equality. And I truly want to find out. I want to go find out as to why the public defender's office don't have the same budget as a prosecutor do. Nobody can answer that question for me, because they both in the public, they're both representing the state. The state is representing you, and guess who you represent? They are representing the state too. So why is it not fair? You know why it's not fair? Because it's not meant to be fair. The jails, the scales of justice is never meant to be fair for anybody, unless you have a paid attorney. And a paid attorney will represent you to the fullest of his law degree. A public defender will not represent you to his full knowledge and degree and decree. He will get you a plea deal. At minimum, he will get you a plea deal. Oh man, the state is telling me they're not going to go down on 10 years. But you get a free world lawyer. I went down there. They said they can give you 3 years. So you mean to tell me it went from 10 years to 3 years because I got a paid lawyer? So the time went from 10 years down to 3 years. You see the difference? A state paid attorney is a good attorney, and a paid attorney is a happy attorney. $500 to represent you for a public defender. Why do you think people don't want to even take a public defender? Everybody in the world know a public defender is only going to get you one or two things: trial date or a plea deal. But I guarantee if they had unlimited resources, that public defender would get off his behind and truly look into your case. Truly look into your case. And the state wouldn't have no choice but to play fair. Because we all know, black, white, green, yellow, we all know that the state and public attorney's office do not play fair. They never have played fair. You show me one case where the state has played fair in a case. I am still live. I'm talking about proper representation of a lawyer. So, it just really bothers me. It really bothers me when I've went down to a courtroom and looked at these public defenders, and I just sit back. I watch the prosecutor and I watch a lawyer, and I sit there and I just watch, and I just nod my head. I just be shocked. I just be shocked to sit there and listen to a public defender, state attorney. We often use this much time. We got this against you. We got a lot of people don't even realize the motion of discovery tells you everything about your case. That's the first thing the first thing a lawyer needs to come to you with is motion of discovery to discover everything they have against you. That should be the first thing your lawyer should do, is a motion of discovery to show you everything that they have against you. That should be the first thing out your lawyer's mouth. Let me go file this motion of discovery. Let me go see what they have against you. Everything. I'm not saying the state gonna hide anything. The state got to give you everything. But we all know sometimes them state officials don't give you everything in that case. That's why I say if you have lawyer, a paid lawyer is gonna make sure he turn over every stone. And that's why I say a state representation of a lawyer should have the same budget as a prosecutor do. Because if they had the same amount of money as a prosecutor do, it's fair game at that point. Again, I'm gonna show y'all. This is Googleable information. Here it is. The scales of justice is not fair. It's unbalanced. It's been unbalanced for centuries, decades. We're talking decades, and nobody is doing anything about it. The scales of justice have never been fair. When have you ever known the scales of justice to be fair? Even when you have a paid lawyer, sometimes it's not enough. Do y'all understand the unlimited budget of the state? That means the state got so much money they can spend against you. They have all the bullets. They have all the bullets. You know why O.J. Simpson won his trial? Because he assembled the best of the best lawyers. Same thing P. Diddy did. He assembled the best of the best, and the prosecutor know they couldn't screw him over. As bad as they wanted to, they wouldn't even give the man a bond. They wouldn't even give P. Diddy a bond. That go to show you they was playing dirty from the get-go. They was playing dirty from the get-go. Everybody's entitled to a bond. So I'm gonna leave y'all with this note, like I said before. I want somebody to answer this question for me. Put it in the comments. I want to know, why is it the state attorney office have unlimited resources of money and the public defender do not have the same equal equality as the state do? I want somebody to please answer that question for me. It's why do the state have unlimited resources and a damn public defender don't have the same resources to help you with your case? I'll wait. I'll wait. And I'm going to leave on that note.